I'm still at 26 seconds till the game starts.
Oh, okay, okay.
And
so you're just doing intros with it. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
And her opponent on the right side of the map, on the blue team, is Polarbearz, also from faction Memento Mori, playing as Mako Osprey. And, I think I'm just going to quit the game and just try to spectate it from the watch tab.
Alrighty, I'm just going to hold at the -2 second mark and just let me know so that way we stay in sync.
It won't let me quit either, so I guess I'll just exit the game entirely.
Worse things have happened.
Yeah,
man, huge bet coming in. Insane fire bat throwing 100 OP marks into the pool at the last moment, making this entire betting pool worth 214 OP marks. All the hype. And he even says, I don't know who I bet on, but I hope they win.
Yeah, it's funny because I haven't seen that glitch happen to me since since the Big Boss and I casted the first ever King of the Hill together. That was the last time I've had a glitch like that happen before. But I'm at 18 seconds in now, so we're almost there.
Alrighty. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on pause. Okay.
Alrighty, so here we go. We are actually in. Game is starting. Both of these players are once again going for the bottom, and Minx barely gets out. I thought she was actually waited just a moment too long. Talk about cutting it into literally the last possible shot.
I'm looking at her loadout right now, and it looks it looks really familiar to me.
Derpy? It's a lot derpy.
No, it looks really familiar to me because it's only 2 units away from my standard 1v1 loadout that I would have been using, and it has the same piloted mech too the standard loadout I had for 1v1 in a week ago. So it's like I'm just looking at what looks like to be almost my own loadout here.
Are you dumbfounded right now, Dissonant? Is that what you're trying to tell everybody right now?
No, she's trying to play this loadout, and the thing is, I feel like it has a lot of weakness. Armadillos overall, the Armadillo opening on Twin Peaks is really weak, as we just saw. Because the thing is, without proper mech support, those things die and melt instantly versus those creeps, and it allows the opponent to capture the bottom outpost really fast. And half of my own games using a loadout similar to this, I just fall apart like this, and I see Minx just falling into that same problem. And Polarbearz is just so ahead because of that. Because her Armadillos, she spent all of early game trying to place those moneymakers on time and stuff, and once the neutral spawned, she almost died to neutrals too. And all of a sudden, Polarbearz has this. He has this 5 upkeep advantage, but he also has had this outpost advantage for a while. And Minxie doesn't. He's
completely leapfrogging over onto basically.
And he could
what
just
you would call
move in right now because Minxie
doesn't.
All her units are in her queue right now, and if she doesn't take that outpost, she's at a huge disadvantage. But I think Polarbearz just gave her the opportunity to actually take that advantage. So the biggest moments of danger just disappeared.
I don't know. I mean, he's got so many units, and he's got them already so close within range of the outpost.
And he's making Buckies too, which are shooting at the outpost actually. So
they're just shooting everywhere, man. Just fire everything.
Yeah.
Buckies just shoot, man. They don't care what they hit or where they hit. Just as long as they're shooting off their payloads, that's all they care about.
I'm just glad there's no friendly fire in this game. Otherwise, Buckies would be very dangerous to use.
Buckies more dangerous to the person that creates them than to their opponents.
Especially if they're playing Bomber.
See, that's the bad thing about Neo, though. Neo, I still feel should be a better. I mean, it's. I don't know, Minx is shooting Polarbearz so much in the air as a standing still Osprey, and Neo as a fighter mech. At least I personally feel. It should be able to kill mechs in the air a little bit faster.
Yeah, I play Neo all the time, and I always think that, but then at the same time, I'm like, why do I play Neo, though? And then I realize, in some ways, it is absolutely broken, and in other ways, it is absolutely useless. And it depends on who your opponent is, what map it is, what your unit counts are and what units they are. Like, half the time you're completely useless, the other half of the time, well, your opponent is completely useless. And
that's a lot of useless, man.
Yeah. Basically, when a Neo is involved, someone is going to be useless. Right now, that unfortunately is Minx herself.
Yeah, I mean, 2 deaths under her belt. Polarbearz completely pushing in, keeping this outpost neutralized. This is pretty much this is going exactly against what most likely Minx's plan was, but I don't know. At the same time, I mean, like you said, her choice of units may have not been the best initially, and then the way that she did some stuff, and then that first death, that first time that she died, she never really recovered from it.
My own personal loadout for Twin Peaks is only 2 units different from here. I can recognize one of the unit differences, and I can't figure out the other one. But really, like on Twin Peaks, though, it's kind of like this really risky thing. If you don't lose your armadillos instantly against the enemy creeps, you're at a good advantage early game. If you do, well, you are totally screwed, and you've lost the game right there. And that's just kind of thing. When I saw Minx lose those early armadillos and almost died at the very beginning, I was like, oh well, this is not going good, especially against Polarbearz. Like, Polarbearz is not the unit that you want to accidentally dope up against, because if you dope up against a player like Polarbearz, you are, well, screwed pretty much. Yeah, you're dead.
I mean, there's no elegant way to put it in this case. I mean, you are dead. And that's exactly what we're seeing right here. And I mean, Minx knew it. I mean, that's why she even pushed her units in. I mean, she knew. I mean, she's not a player that would just push stuff and, out of the wrong way. I mean, she pushed it and she threw up the GG right afterwards and everything. And unfortunately, Minx will not make champion status. Polarbearz will dethrone the queen and takes his spot as king of the hill. Can someone knock Polar?
She was so close, too. That was her last game. I really thought for a second she was going to make it. But then Polarbearz.
Polarbearz came in and, well, like we said, it was all the opening. I mean, unfortunately, it was that initial first 2 minutes complete, and not even 2 minutes, the first 1 minute complete.